Gaurav Gala, sports editor, joins us for more on the story. Gaurav, very happy. Well, we're not talking about cricket, and we're talking about perhaps the most prestigious title as far as tennis is concerned. Take us through exactly who's the favourite and what are their realistic chances.
Well, this is certainly one of the most prestigious tournaments going. Of course, there's Wimbledon, which is coming up in a few months' time, Akash, and then, of course, the US Open, the Australian Open, and Sania, Mirza, Mahesh, Bhupathi, definitely the favourites. They're the 7 seeds, and they're definitely the favourites going into this final because their opponents are unseeded. Not too much is known about them. So Mahesh and Sania, the big favourites coming into this. They've had a fairly comfortable route to the finals so far. They've done really well, defeating some tough teams along the way, be it in the quarterfinals or even in the semi-finals. It's been a very, very comfortable ride so far for them. So let's hope they're not complacent. Let's hope they are building up to this final, which is of course later today in the evening. And I've spoken to the camp of Mahesh and Sania, and the information we're getting is that they're really, really focused, they're geared up, and they are feeling confident. Let's hope that confidence doesn't spell into overconfidence.
Absolutely. Unseeded opponents, so they shouldn't be overconfident apart. Obviously very close to victory. Well, just hang in for a second because Mahesh Bhupathi's father, Krishna Bhupathi, has also expressed his happiness over the year storming into the final of the French Open. Let's take a listen.
Thrilled, we're absolutely thrilled. This is 22nd final for Mahesh and third final for Mahesh and Sania together. To have an Indian girl as a partner and to have a girl who is good enough to reach such high levels in the international competition, this is the first time and it's very difficult to be replicated.
But I also want to know about exactly Sania's health condition and her injuries, because whoever has tracked her long history of injuries during play, is she absolutely gung-ho? Is she absolutely positive in terms of mental frame and fact that she's perhaps suffering from no niggles at this point of time?
Akash, as far as Sania Mirza's injuries are concerned, they are well documented. You know, she's had wrist problems, she's had ankle problems, knee problems. So she's suffered from the major injuries already in her career. But what I can tell you is that over the last 6 months to the last year, she's had an absolutely fantastic year on the court, be it in the women's doubles or the mixed doubles. She's done really, really well. And that is because she's worked really hard. You know, midway through, before the season started at the Australian Open, she had a bit of a niggle in her knee. She took adequate rest. I spoke to her at that point in time and she said, look, I'm just going to keep my feet up for a couple of weeks and then see when I get on the court and I hit a few balls. She's rested, she's looked after her body after her injuries, and now she is firing on all cylinders, as we've seen at the French Open. Hopefully we'll also see that form translating into Wimbledon and then the Olympics, which are all, of course, back to back now after this French Open. So on the injury front, she is doing much, much better than she has over the last few years.
That is, of course, great news, and from being almost written off to actually having such a great title almost at her doorstep, we honestly wish her all the best. Gaurav, thanks for getting us that update. We'll keep a track on that story.